F.W. de Klerk is my name. I am retired. I'm no longer a politician.
De Klerk is a murderer. De Klerk has got blood on his hands.
Let me put the record straight. It's a blatant lie to say I'm an unrepentant apologist of apartheid. I have made profound apologies for the pain that apartheid has caused. I've said on many occasions in South Africa and internationally, apartheid was wrong, was morally unjustified. So it's a lie. The EFF is a racist, fascist party. Mr. Malema is fashioning himself on Che Guevara. He's called the commander-in-chief of this party. And I'm ashamed of what happened in Parliament last night, not for my sake, but for the sake of the image of our Parliament.
Do you have any regrets about saying that apartheid was not a crime against humanity?
When I said that recently in an interview, I was in line with the Security Council of that time. I was in line with Great Britain, with America, with Sweden, with Norway.
But what do you think about apartheid personally?
Apartheid was wrong. I've profusely apologized for it. I haven't only apologized. I and my team initiated the process which brought apartheid to an end. By the time when President Mandela became president, all the major apartheid laws have been scrapped from the law book by us, by a parliament in which the National Party had a majority. In that sense of the word, we started abolishing apartheid. We didn't only say sorry, we added the deed to the word and did something about it to rectify the wrongs of the past.
You were president of a racist regime. Are you yourself racist?
I was not president of a racist regime. I'm often referred to as the last apartheid president. I was the first white president who really abolished apartheid. My predecessor started by repealing 100 apartheid laws already. So we were bent on reform. From the early 80s, the National Party was doing its level best to work out a program of fundamental reform which would bring justice to all. What I did was conscience-driven. It wasn't because of sanctions. Yes, sanctions played a role, kept us on our toes. It wasn't because of the armed struggle. The ANC itself realized it could not win the armed struggle. It was conscience-driven by me and my fellow leaders in the National Party admitting that apartheid was wrong and that therefore we have to make a 180-degree turn.
Was an admission just good enough? Why did it wait so long? Why did your government of the National Party wait so long to change laws and end all the suffering?
It was a process. We started already in the late 70s repealing many obnoxious apartheid laws. It was a process which was delayed by the fact that the USSR, when it still had an expansionist policy in Southern Africa, were supporting hundreds of thousands of Cuban troops in Southern Africa. All that delayed it. When the Berlin Wall came down, it opened a window of opportunity for me. I saw the window and we jumped through that window.
Some people say that you have blood on your hands. What do you think?
It's not true. I have a clear conscience. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission tried its very best to implicate me in atrocities, and yes, elements in the security forces did commit atrocities. I appointed 2 judicial commissions. The second one was successful in uncovering the very unacceptable role which elements in the security forces played during the years of the struggle, and even thereafter, even after I became president. That resulted in me firing a lot and putting on early retirement a lot of very senior officials from the Defence Force.
Don't you think those people should have gone to prison for what they did?
We agreed on legislation which established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Anybody who committed serious crimes with a political motive could apply for amnesty. Those who applied for amnesty, if they made full disclosure, received amnesty from all sides. Those who did not apply were prone to prosecution, and the prosecuting authorities were free to prosecute anybody found guilty of serious crimes, of serious breaches of human rights, could have done so.
You obviously watch the news, and you have been kept abreast with what has been happening in the country. This year was the 30th anniversary of your famous speech in which you had announced that President Mandela was going to be released. And now recently, President Ramaphosa said that the country does not have to thank you, Mr. de Klerk, for making that announcement that Mr. Mandela was going to be released and that the revolutionary parties were going to be unbanned. How did that make you feel?
I don't want the country to thank me, but I do want history to be correctly recorded. The ANC wants to rewrite history as if what happened in 1990 and from 1990 to 96 was just the result of their struggle. Yes, of course it played a role, their struggle. Yes, I give credit that they played a crucial role in that whole process. But we did as well. We also played a crucial role. It was my speech of the 2nd of February 1990 was an initiative. It wasn't negotiated. I didn't only release Mr. Mandela, I released all political prisoners. I unbanned all formerly banned organizations, even the armed wing of the ANC, without them suspending the armed struggle. That was an initiative when they did so. A few months after he was released, when Mr. Mandela announced it, they then took an initiative. So it was a joint effort. And true history should record that I and my side played an honorable role in that effort, that the ANC and under Mr. Mandela played an honorable role in that effort, and we shouldn't claim victory for any side.
Do you have any regrets about what you've just mentioned now? Or would you have done anything differently?
All the major decisions I took, with the advantage of hindsight, I would take again today. I would have made that speech as I made it and announced that package, which removed any excuse the ANC could offer not to come to the negotiation table. I would call the referendum again to renew my mandate from the white electorate to negotiate a new dispensation. I would accept the constitutions we negotiated, the preliminary transitional constitution and thereafter the final one, notwithstanding that it wasn't perfect from my viewpoint. Yes, no regrets.
If you had not made those decisions, where do you think South Africa would be today?
I think if we clung to the old policies, South Africa might have looked like Syria today. I think the initiatives we took and the ANC took in coming together and in negotiating through a process of give and take, entering into good agreements, resulting in an admirable, very good constitution. If we didn't do all that, we might have looked like Syria, there would have been a civil war. We avoided a catastrophe by taking those initiatives.
Let's talk about the current state of South Africa. What are your thoughts on the current government?
I think we were on the right road in the first 15, 18 years after 1994 when President Mandela became president. We lost our way under President Zuma. we're on the wrong road now. I support whatever efforts President Ramaphosa is making to put us on the right road again, to revive our economy, to get it out of its lethargy. I support President Ramaphosa when he wants to act very strongly against corruption, and we have extensive corruption in South Africa. We've become a captured state by crook and criminal elements. So I'm supportive of the efforts which are being made, but I'm critical of the pace at which it is being done.